Wucheria bancrofti, commonly known as the filarial worm. It is a type of tissue nematodes. This parasite belongs to kingdom Animalia, subkingdom Metazoa, phylum Nematoda, family Filariidae, genus Wuchereria, species Wuchereria bancrofti. The parasite named after a discovery of the physician, namely Otto Edward Henry Wucher, who identified the larval form in Kailas urine, and Joseph Bancroft, who identified the adult female worm. The parasite habitat are human or the definitive host and lives in the lymphatics and lymph nodes. Culex mosquito are the intermediate host and lives in the midgut. The infection spread from the Culex mosquito to human and vice versa. Let us see about the morphology. It has three morphological features, namely microfilariae, larva and adult worm. The adult worm has male and female variety. Let us discuss about the microfilariae. Microfilariae are the embryo or miniature of the adult worm. It present in the peripheral circulation of the human and has characteristic point that it has marked nocturnal periodicity, that is 10 pm to 4 am. This picture showing the microfilariae and its structure. Let us study about the 10 characteristic point of microfilariae. Shape: round, slender and pointed. Size: 240 to 290 micron in length, 7 to 10 micron in width. Color: white and transparency. This picture explains the shape of the microfilariae. It is surrounded by the hyaline sheath, that is 350 micron in length, which is larger than the size of the microfilariae. The hyaline sheath helps for the movement of the microfilariae. This picture showing the hyaline sheath. It has anterior end known as the cephalic end or blunt and posterior end, that is known as the tail end or pointed without nuclei. This picture showing the cephalic end and tail end of the microfilariae. This picture showing the cephalic end of microfilariae. This picture showing the tail end of microfilariae. Anterior V-spot containing excretory pore and posterior V-spot contains anal cells where nuclei are absent in this spot. This picture showing the anterior V-spot and posterior V-spot. Body cavity are round in shape. Nucleus are appear as the granules in central axis of the body cavity, which are coarse and regularly arranged. Presence of nerve ring in cephalic end and genital cells are in tail end. This picture showing the arrangement of nucleus in central axis of the body cavity, nerve ring in cephalic end and presence of 4 genital cells in tail end. Let us study about the larva. It has 3 larval stage, namely L1, L2 and L3. L3 stage of larva is the infective form of human and develop in the mosquito midgut within 10 to 11th day of infections. The first stage larva develop within second day and mature into second stage of larva within 3 to 7 days, followed by development of the third stage larva within 10 to 11th day of infection in the midgut of the Culex mosquito. Let us study about the male and female adult worm. This picture showing the filarial adult worm. We'll discuss about the 6 common features of male and female adult worm. Male and female adult worm coiled together and cannot able to separate. Filariform in shape with tapering of both ends. Long hair like creamy white transparent. This picture showing the shape and size of the female and male adult worm. Devoid of nucleus on both ends. Excretory system are present in the cephalic end. Anus are present in tail end. This picture explains about excretory system in cephalic end, anus present into the tail end and absence of nucleus in both end of male and female worm. We will discuss about the few difference of male and female adult worm. Size: 3 to 4 cm in case of male, 8 to 10 cm in case of female. Anterior end has no nucleus in both male and female adult worm. Posterior end is curved in case of male adult worm and pointed in case of female adult worm. Papillae, that is sensory papillae, which is present into the tail end in case of male, where there is absent in case of female. These pictures explain about size and tail end of the male, that is curved, and the female adult worm, that is pointed. This picture showing the filarial adult worm. Let us study the life cycle. Infective form is third stage of larva and source of infection is mosquito bite. The life cycle begins when the third stage larva enter to the human lymphatics during blood meal by female Culex mosquito. Then the larva mature into male and female adult worm in lymphatics or regional lymph nodes. The male and female adult worm always coiled together and undergoes to copulation. The female adult worm liberates the sheeted microfilariae. This microfilariae migrate into the peripheral circulation. The microfilariae enter into female Culex mosquito during their blood meal. The sheeted microfilariae penetrates the mosquito midgut and reaches to the thoracic muscle, where the first stage larva develop within second day and mature into second stage of larva within 3 to 7 days, followed by development of the third stage larva, that is infective for the human, within 10 to 11th day of infection in the midgut of the Culex mosquito. The third stage larva migrate into the mosquito head. This third stage larva enter into the human lymphatics by female Culex mosquito during their blood meal, leads to repetition of the life cycle. Let us study about the pathogenesis. The microfilariae produced occlusion pathology, mainly occlusion of the lymphatics, known as occult filariasis. The adult worm produce inflammation and granuloma, known as the classical filariasis. We'll discuss about the difference between classical filariasis and occult filariasis. Cause. The microfilariae is the causes of occult filariasis and adult worm is the causes of the classical filariasis. The organ, lungs and liver will be involved in case of occult filariasis, and lymphatic system is involved in case of classical filariasis. Hypersensitivity is the main pathology in case of occult filariasis and inflammation in case of classical filariasis. Diagnosis: microfilariae present into the peripheral blood in case of occult filariasis, where there is microfilariae is absent in case of classical filariasis. In serological diagnosis, immunoglobulin E is positive in case of occult filariasis, where there is absent in case of classical filariasis. The microfilariae produce lymph node enlargement, eosinophilia and hepatosplenomegaly. The adult worm produce enlargement of the limbs, hydrocele and chyuria. Let us study how to diagnose these conditions. The parasite infections are diagnosed by the 5 diagnostic method, namely identification of the microfilariae, imaging method, serological diagnosis, molecular diagnosis and other tests. Let us study how to diagnose the microfilariae. The microfilariae are identified through the collection of nocturnal blood, that is 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. or hydrocele fluid or chylous urine, followed by preparation of the thin and thick Leishman stain, which identified through the microscopy. This picture showing about presence of microfilariae in the blood through the Leishman stain. Let us study about the imaging method. The imaging method helps to identify the dead or calcified adult worm through the X-ray, Doppler ultrasonography and lymphography. The X-ray helps to identify the dead and calcified worm. The Doppler ultrasonography helps to identify the dilation of the vessels along with the movement of the adult worm, that is known as the filarial dance sign. The lymphography helps to identify the dilation of the lymphatic vessels of lower limb. This Doppler ultrasonography picture showing about movement of the echogenic structure in the distal part of the right thigh. Let us study about the serological diagnosis test. The serological test helps to detect either circulating filarial antigens or parasitic specific antibody by using ELISA or ICT method. Let us study about how to diagnose the case through the circulating filarial antigen detection test. It helps to detect the circulating antigen, namely OG4C3 antigen and AD12 antigen, by using monoclonal antibody to confirm the antigen-antibody reactions. Let us study about how to diagnose the case through the parasitic specific antibody, that is PSA detection test. It helps to detect the total immunoglobulin G and immunoglobulin E antibody against recompetent filarial antigen, that is namely WBSXP1, to confirm the antigen antibody reaction. Let us study about the molecular diagnosis. The molecular diagnosis helps to identify the DNA of filarial worm from the sample and its DNA sequence. Some of the other few tests also help to diagnose the condition, namely eosinophilia is elevated more than 3000 microliter and elevated immunoglobulin E level more than 1000 nanogram per ml, which helps to identify the occult filariasis, and lymph node biopsy helps to identify the classical filariasis. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to pathology and microbiology classes of NIH.